Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Adriane Hartigan von Strauch, Director of Love Coach Ltd in New Zealand. I'm known here in this country as the Love Coach, New Zealand's Master Love Coach, and ultimately Quantum Love Coach for those who know me internationally and have seen me online and through my YouTube channel. Now, I carry very big passion seeing people utilizing their relationships as a kind of platform to elevate and transit and accelerate in their lives. I believe that relationships are the core of our life structure. If we have good relationships, if we have healed relationships, and ultimately relationships in which we can grow to higher dimensions in our personal, business, and intimate spheres, then we couldn't be any luckier. Now, unfortunately, the reality is quite different for many people, coming from very dysfunctional, very hurt, and very unhealed backgrounds. I just want to really emphasize that this innovation, this initiation and launch we are performing here this week is really for those I call lovers in transit. It doesn't need to be that you're only already past a particular state of awareness that love is not for you and that you have given up on love and maybe it's never happening again, but also those who are really seeking outside the frame to find answers and solutions to overcome these incredible difficulties and often harsh environment we're facing when we go out and trying to manifest love in a very conscious and heart-centered way. And some of you might be in relationships and still trying to figuring out what is it, what could elevate me as a person, as a lover, as a husband, wife, or as a just simple friend who has the privilege to hang out with someone a little bit more intimately. What is it what you and I could do to make it even more exciting, even more accessible, even more wonderfully passionate in the frame of love and our relationships? So the Master Matchmakers is an innovation and an initiation I formed during lockdown in New Zealand. It was exactly the 24th of April, where I had a reading with my very dear and close friend Jackie Pope. She is my saving grace. She is this angel on my side. We will introduce her sometime soon to our channel here as someone I highly recommend to reach out to when you have particular questions in your life to answer. So she gave me really instantly green light. She said, this is the door for you to open something in a language that helps people to understand what is really going on in our love lives and still seems so unachievable, so impossible to create and to achieve together. So as if she said, you hold the key in your hand, Adriane, and you need to give this key to other people so that they can, unlock their inner self to help to open themselves up to understand what love and relationship and intimacy really means to them. And for every single one of us, it means something different. My background is as film editor and business innovator in the realm of holistic business, healing, and transformational coaching. And I came to love coaching through this simple endeavor, wanting my latest and last long-term relationship make work. Now, ultimately, this didn't really happen and ended or succeeded in a way I had anticipated. But one thing, after 13 years of being with a man I loved with all I could love someone, I learned that even sometimes when we have already given more than we are capable of, it's still not enough to really reach someone else's needs, someone else's languages of love, someone else's greater values and aspirations. Often we think with all this perfection we bring into the space, we have really, really sussed it, we have really, really manifested already the foundation for someone else to join us on this journey. And ultimately, if it's not a resonating journey, if it's not a harmonizing journey, and if it's not one that can be easily, effortlessly, and in some way also spiritually and soul-based aligned work, then we have really deep problems to overcome. Now, not every relationship has to be easy, but we want to feel that the agreement we make with each other, whatever relationship we go into, is one of really understanding that we are harmonizing in the ultimate outcome we want to create for each other. So get ready for an ultimate experience with me over these over these next 5 days. The last week, the last 2 weeks, we got really, really ready. The new moon, who just passed in Cancer, was literally like the final opening for me personally to get ready to launch this baby with you. But now this week we're starting with an amazing full moon, and the card I draw for this wonderful opening, this launch, is the Da Vinci Tarot card of the Conception, which is ultimately the moon card. It's number 18 in the classic Rider's Tarot. So the moon card is really, really an awareness card that we can shift from the unconscious, from these hidden ideas, these hidden fears, these hidden concepts, these subconscious, unconscious holdings into vessels and, pots of what we are still hanging on to, into a much greater perspective, and then taking it and beginning to analyze it and to find out what is really going on in our internal world for so long that stopped us to have the relationship or the relationships we ultimately seek to have. So get ready for an amazing week with me to give you my key in your hand to help you to unlock this inner lock of unconsciousness, of lack of clarity, and maybe misunderstanding to what you really, really have learned about love and relationships over time. So thank you for participating. I just give a couple more house rules before we actually engage in more videos over the next 5 days. We're starting really very softly and gently today. All I want you to do is, maybe if you go shopping and you haven't thought about having a personal notebook for process ready. I mean, if you have a diary at home and you are a writer and someone who journals a lot, good on you, but grab any form of bundled amount of papers in which you can over the days make some notes of what is happening within you, what I share with you, and what will ultimately lead you to the final vision picture, to the mind map of what you want to do in order to manifest love. Now, I announced that this process is really ultimately helping us to bust and balance photo, which I call the fear of dating online. Now, when we get secure and really greatly in tune and attuned with what is right and purposeful for us, then fear disappears. And I think, the fear of dating online is no other than other fears in our existence. Once we actually understand what we really stand for and why we are out there seeking the relationships we ultimately want to experience, then we have the great chance to do this in a very, very safe, secure, sassy, and also successful manner. So I want to help you, whether female or male, to great success in your love life. And I want to help you to understand how, even if you are in a relationship that really fulfills you already in many, many ways, that there's always a niche in which we can grow, expand, and develop us and us together as couple even further. So have your notebook ready. See what's happening on our beautiful The Master Matchmakers Facebook page. We will keep the YouTubes coming in. We will have a live this week at some time, where actually my beautiful daughter Saskia and I will appear together, and she, being a very conscious 24-year-old, acting as my assistant director through the Master Matchmakers and my apprentice, she will ask very, very valuable questions from the eye and the perspective of a young conscious lady being in her mid-20s. I mean, dating in the 20s, 30s is certainly a bit of a different experience than in our 40s, 50s and 60s. I say this very consciously because our needs change, our styles change, and our way of bringing things into manifestation changed. And ultimately, we all want the same thing. So, it might sound that at the beginning we're some sort of thinking about the same thing, and then the different pathways offer it to us to make it happen. Maybe, like you have different lanes on a motorway, and you could say, hey, I can choose this lane or this lane. But ultimately, the goal is over there, and the goal is that we find that harmonious, loving, fulfilled place we absolutely seek to step into. So welcome to the Master Matchmakers. If you check us out this week on our website, I am during these 5 days announcing again and again the wonderful opportunity that if you make a decision to become an active and a secured member in our beautiful niche and network, then we give you the benefit of, if you come into level 3 straight away, which is the level where you actually be coached and prepared for a greater master matchmaking journey and master matchmaking journey. So this is an offer where you actually get the first months for free. That means first months you would pay $333 New Zealand, and the second is basically without fee, and then you have an extra month of coaching and wonderful guidance through the changes in your love life, and the opportunity to work further into the next year with us to potentially be actually trained and supported in becoming a matchmaker yourself. So this whole concept of the Master Matchmakers is actually we all together become masters in matchmaking as an avenue for dating and manifesting love, matchmaking for creating clarity where we are really matched, right or wrongly, in our relationships, and a matchmaking also from a perspective and being able to help others to create much greater insights. How impossible it sometimes is when we see someone really nice and have dates and meet someone who is actually very, very beautiful, and yet we are realizing that the way this person perceives him or herself, or where they're at in their journey, is very, very different. And to let go of this concept that we want to change people and yet want to have a positive impact in their evolution as lovers and lovers to be is something very, very powerful. It's a great gift we can give to each other when we ultimately really, really have a communicational style that comes from a place of awareness. I know I need that. I know what's good for me. I know what's important for me. And ultimately, this is what I'm offering you to share with me. And this is the wonderful journey we can actually really co-create with and for one another. Wishing you a wonderful day today on the 3rd of August 2020, and I will be back within the next 24 hours with the official first step of the 7 C's to manifest the ultimate dating relationship and love relationship you really desire. Thank you so much. Wishing you a fantastic day.